We were talking about homeschooling. I'd just love to hear from your perspective of, what made you want to do that, and then just how that experience been from your perspective?
That was just a decision we made together. I think, Ben had a more negative experience than I did in public school. Although when I started reflecting, I was like, I didn't really learn anything that I remember, you know? And I just sort of started, it was like, and I had a lot of really great teachers and stuff. Like, I don't say any of this, like,
Yeah.
discount their, passion and effort and good intentions. But, like, I just started to feel like, okay, like, what I really got out of school was the idea that school is necessary, you know? Like, I felt we had decided to homeschool our kids, and I felt like excited about the positive things about that. But there was this part of me that was still like, oh, but you can't do it right. And like, what about this experience that you got to have in school, and that experience, and opportunities and all that stuff. And, but yeah, the more I thought about that, the more I started to feel like, it was just like fear, that most of school, it's like a very competitive environment, where, you're competing to be like the best, get the best grades, get into the best college, get the best career, make the most money. And like, that's not really what I'm interested in teaching my kids how to do. If they want to pursue that path, then they're free to. But I just feel like what they can learn here, like the real life skills and what they can learn by observing nature, and like learning to work, hopefully. Got to work on that. It's hard to know like what age like you should do what, but or have them doing what. But yeah, I just started feeling like so much of that is so much more valuable. And as long as, and especially for Ben, like I think school really squashed his like desire to learn. Or I don't know, maybe it squashed my desire to learn.
And that definitely
it
happens.
just sort of like dumbed him down. But
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
I have this like resistance to wanting to learn new things. Like, it sounds exhausting to me, and I don't really like reading. And yeah, I don't know, I just started thinking like, wait, what am I so attached to about like school? Like, what do I think is so important that they can't miss, And I see my kids, like, now that we're a few years in, like, Rosie loves nothing more than reading. And Henry's like so curious about nature. Like, he could just watch bugs for hours. He loves fishing. So the fact that they can like really dive into what they're interested in, especially at this young age, I think is great. And yeah, I just started realizing that as long as they can remain interested in learning, like they can learn anything, so it's almost like it's almost more of what we want to preserve than what we want to teach them, if that makes sense.
Definitely.
Which is just to be engaged with life and to engage with like people of all ages and from like many different backgrounds. We have sort of a somewhat unique situation, I think, where kids get to interact with a lot of different people because of what we do. Between having people, come here from other countries to work for a few weeks at a time, and having like all different types of customers and stuff like that. So, yeah, and I think as they get older, I plan on really leaning into our community for help with you know, sort of tutoring them in different areas, and things like that. And yeah.
I love the way you said engage with life, because that's one thing before you were here was just talking how the difference with Henry showing the claw that he put together versus most kids now, to where they just have a screen in front of their face, and then whatever that has horrific disastrous consequences, as we've seen. But then in terms of like the engagement of life, most people aren't, they're just so disengaged with everything. And then to me, that's why I say the root of all of our problems is our disconnection from our food. That's why I'm glad to hear your perspective, because I hope more people have the same realization. Because I have my qualms with public education. It's very challenging, because like you said, I had a lot of awesome teachers, but overall, the public system that I had was pretty crappy. And it was a lot of wasted time.
Yeah.
I don't remember most stuff because a lot of the stuff I was taught was completely pointless. And so my North Star is having a ranch and wanting to do the very same thing that you all are doing. And so thank you for sharing.
Crazy
Yeah.
thing is just about public school too, is just like the insanity of the age segregation. Like,
Yeah.
I hope we look back on that one day and think, wow, that was a really stupid idea. Like,
Yeah.
you're basically throwing kids to the wolves, and they create their own. Like, I want my kids to be a part of our culture, an intergenerational culture. And the way it is now, like, kids, that's why we have like youth culture, subcultures. Youth, like, they're just like thrown together, taken out of their culture, thrown together in an age group together, and then they just like create their own culture.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
Except that the culture is like usually in some ways pretty dog eat dog. You know, the culture that a bunch of kids that are all the same age are going to create is not going to be the same culture that kind of is intergenerational and gets passed down through the generation. It still changes over time, but it's got a little bit more wisdom, hopefully, from being a little bit more intergenerational and over the course of time.
Yeah.
You know, and I think kids are really, their self-esteem and their sense of self-worth is also ruined by that, you know, that trying to fit into this just like really shallow youth culture, you know.
Yeah.
I need to.
Yeah, and you guys probably already talked about technology since you said you haven't been around you talking about it, but that is one thing we are like very committed to. Like, I mean, we watch family movies and stuff sometimes and the occasional educational show, but like we don't do tablets,
Yeah, I was about to say,
computers,
that's way different than
smartphones, like even videos. And our kids, like, they can take an 8-10 hour car ride and like look out the window and play games and entertain themselves like when we were kids, you know. And yeah, they're just like still interested in stuff, you know. And yeah, it's really like gratifying to see that. Makes a big difference.
Well, one thing too with being on the farm too is just building for self-sovereignty too. I mean, it was just funny hearing Ben was saying how Henry was making his own whipped cream. You just found him just doing that. You don't really,
Yeah.
you don't hear that from most kids his age doing something like that.
Yeah.
And so even just having him being around all of that makes sense to where it eventually leads to you doing something like that at that age, because you're not just doled out a screen the whole time. Because it's crazy just traveling around, and you'll be at a restaurant and then you just see kids as young as your youngest, and they have a screen, and all it is so you can just distract your kids, so you can finally have a little peace as the parents now. Because I've seen this online too, to where I'll see people complaining about kids crying on a plane or something else, and it's just like, hand them a screen. People now know that if you hand kids a screen, it just dulls them.
Right.
And now that's just completely normal in our culture, and it's pretty sad. So that's why I like what you all are doing. I'm hoping that we continue, as more people wake up to our food and just everything, to where some of that is brought back.
Well, I think sovereignty too kind of extends to, like, you know, I like modeling to my kids that, like, you are in charge of making your money and making your livelihood. like with your own hands, like you doing honest labor. Instead of like, I mean, there's nothing wrong. I understand our whole world is propped up by people that have 9 to 5s, you know what I mean? But it doesn't have to be that way. And like, I think that's also something that's getting missing is like, you feel like when you grow up, how are you going to sell your labor versus like, how are you going to make your labor work for you? You know what I mean? And I think farming really, like really makes that a lot easier, especially if you're doing it as a family. Like the idea that you're in charge of your day, like you don't have to surrender your day to like somebody else and like an employer, you know what I mean? Like you can be in charge of your day, you can have the autonomy as long as you've got the gumption and the motivation to make it happen. Like nobody can really touch that, you know, if you have the wherewithal to sort of make your own means in the world, you know what I mean? And just like learning these kind of skills, like learning how to grow your own mushrooms, learning how to tend cattle and sheep, you know, that all just like gives you the tools that you need to go on and be in charge of your day. Because I just see a lot of the unhappiness of the world too. I mean, on a certain level, it has to do with just like, you know, your day, 90% of the world wakes up and their day is not their own. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, and some people are fine with that. That's fine, you know, but I think there's a significant percentage of the population who are more inclined to being self-starters, self-actualizers. That are just kind of stuck.
Well, and that's why,
selling their labor every day when, you know, and I want my kids to have the opportunity to like know how to go about that, because it's getting increasingly hard in this world to just make a small cottage level living. You know, it's like you used to be able to like be the town blacksmith. Not to be too nostalgic, but you know, and you make a living, that's becoming, or you could open up a restaurant, you know what I mean? Have the local diner in town. These days, it's like really hard to do that because of all the franchise competition, you know, and regulations and just what it takes to start up, the capital you need to start up, you know. So it extends a lot of things, but I think farming is just one of the things that really gives you those skills.
Well, especially gives you the big picture of life in the sense that not even just like the farming skills, but you think about like the veterinarian aspect, mechanic or electrician, carpentry, everything that goes into all of this. Because now as society's advanced and gone more hyper specialized to where now you call somebody for each one, you call a specific person. I mean, I'm that same way. I don't know how to do a lot of that stuff. I'm slowly learning, but I mean, I'm 31 now, so I'm just kind of catching up for lost time. And I know most people in America are like that too.